to What I Ate Wednesday. I am starting off with some tea, a new one, well not new one, but one that I found again in my tea cupboard. So this one is the red velvet cake from David's Tea. This is one that smells better or smells more delicious than it actually tastes. You can smell like this chocolate and like sweetness in it, and then when you taste it, it just honestly tastes like a regular black tea. But it's still a really fat pouch, so I have a lot to go to drink. For breakfast, I am having just my granola, I forget which one this is now. I think it's vanilla almond, that's what it is. So which is some almond milk. Before I get started with lunch, I am going to start making a bread. We're having shakshuka for dinner tonight. We saw it on Guy's Grocery Game. It's a Middle Eastern dish. Kind of like, and I haven't had it before, but I think like a tomato soup with fried or just like a cracked egg on top in a nice pattern. Anyways, it's a Middle Eastern dish, so I thought I would make challah bread to go with it, and I'm always looking for excuses to use my bread machine. So I'm going to start that first because obviously the dough has to rise, and then I'll figure out lunch and do everything else. Into my bread machine, I am putting a cup of warm water, and then I don't have honey, so I'm just, well, using agave. So just like a tablespoon of that. Yeah, it's about a tablespoon. It's a lot of sugar in it, my goodness. And then some eggs. Alright, I'm not talented enough to do this with one hand. Oh, no, there we go. Did I get anything in there? No, I think we're okay. Okay, still having to master the one hand cracking. Alright, that looks pretty good. Half a cup of oil. Then we're gonna add our dry ingredients. So, 4 cups of flour. I was gonna say water, but no. Pouring that over. Whew, that's a lot of flour. And then half a cup of sugar, some salt, and then we're gonna do 2 1/4 teaspoons of yeast. 1, 2 1/4. Pretty sure that's it. Hopefully, yes. That is a whole lot of flour. So now just popping it in here, and then doing number 10, the dough. And how long is it gonna take? 1 hour and 40 minutes. All right. Good luck, bread machine. So there's about 45 minutes left on the bread, just in the bread machine. So the first, like the kneading cycle and the rising, and then I have to form it again. But I'm gonna have some lunch and then hoping I can get all that before I have to leave for work. So for lunch, I'm just having quick leftovers. Some pasta. See, there was some, I think, butternut squash ravioli or agnolotti or one of those things, and then some kale. And then this is just a piece of focaccia bread with some roasted onions on it. And then tomato sauce was, I think, a sun-dried tomato and herb. That we doctored up a little bit to make it a little better, but it's still only okay. But that's okay. So just gonna eat this and then work on the bread. Time is up, bread dough is done. Ooh, not sure what happened there, but very nice. So now I'm just gonna take it out, punch this down a bit, get some of that air out. Ooh. So I've divided the dough in half. Here we have the other half still. And then made it into 3 strings, and then I'll do the other with that one as well. So I have a greased cookie sheet. Putting this together, holding that here. Alright, this one first. And there. Sorry, the aluminum foil is loud. And there, and then just kind of pinching this down. There we go. Instead of spritzing with water, I just have some water on my hands. We're just gonna do that. And then I have some saran wrap or like cling wrap. So we're just going to gently place that over it and then put it in a warm, draft-free place. So for me, that is the oven. I turn it on to about like 200 Fahrenheit just to warm up, and then I shut it off, and now it's not even that hot or warm. It's just, well, I guess a little warm. So anyways, now just putting this into the oven, and then I'll do the same with that one. I am on my way to work, and I am taking the white Christmas tea, so peppermint tea. The challah breads are rising, but they're only supposed to rise for about an hour to an hour and a half, and now I'm gonna be gone for like 4 hours. So, but there's not enough time anyways, or then it would have been only have them rise for about half an hour. Well, yeah, they haven't risen enough, so, and then they bake for 25 minutes, so it wouldn't, I couldn't have done it before I left, so, oh well. But I'm just gonna go to teaching now. I'm home again, and these challah breads have risen beautifully. I was a bit worried, but yes, look at them, ooh. So now I have a mixture of egg and some water, and then I'm just going to put that, brush that over it, and it just helps it get nice and golden. And then I'm already preheating the oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit, and then they're gonna bake for about 20 to 25 minutes. So for dinner, like I mentioned earlier, we are having shakshuka, which is an Israeli dish, and traditionally it's for breakfast, but we're having it for dinner. A little hesitant with the egg because I don't usually like sunny side egg. I like omelets or scrambled eggs. I like for the yolk and white to be mixed. You can't actually see the two parts. But I am willing to sacrifice my personal taste for the look of this dish and just trying to be authentic. So I've heated up some olive oil, and then we minced up a onion. So I'm gonna put that in, and I'm gonna scrape that out, and then just warming it up, cooking it until it gets nice and soft. I added some garlic and mixed that around, and then we have one minced red bell pepper that we're adding, and we minced it up in the food processor, which didn't quite work. Some got really cut up and slushy, and then others were huge chunks. So in the future I would do it, yeah, look at this big chunk, by hand actually cutting, but that's okay. So then we're just going to saute this for about 5 to 7 minutes until it gets nice and soft. All right, so now we just basically throw everything else in here aside from the eggs. So you could do, we have a big can, 28-ounce can of diced tomatoes. I'm putting that in. You could also do fresh tomatoes, about 4 cups, but that's a lot of effort. And then of some tomato paste, just so it's a little thicker, about 2 tablespoons. So putting that in, and we'll save the rest. Maybe we'll do a pizza or something. And then just a little bit of sugar, a generous pinch. And then for spices, we're gonna be putting in chili powder, cumin, and paprika. Recipe calls for a teaspoon of each, but you know, it's to preference. So this cumin, about a teaspoon. Chili powder. And then the paprika. Ooh, that was a lot of paprika. And then we're just mixing this. And then we're gonna let it come to a simmer. And then we're just gonna let it simmer for about another 5 to 7 minutes. So while that is going, the bread timer beeped. So that's all done. Ooh, that's a nice brown. Do we want it darker or no?
Maybe a little.
All right, well, I'm gonna switch some, but we're gonna put them in, because it says 20 to 25 minutes. I did 20 and then left them, so we'll do about 3 minutes still. Now we are cracking the eggs, and we are putting it right on top, breaking it. Ooh. And And ideally then you'd put it in the oven, the whole pan, but we couldn't use our cast iron skillet because it's not big enough. So we're just gonna cover it and then cook the whole thing on kind of medium, simmering it still for about 10 minutes just to get the eggs to cook over easy style. So that's what that looks like. And cooked little eggs. This is what it looks like now. So we're just gonna put some parsley on top. I can turn off the heat. And then now we're gonna cut up the challah bread. We've plated it now. And yeah, it's interesting. So we have a challah bread slice, and yeah, that's what the egg looks like. And you can kind of see it's down. Oh, that looks like enough like a scrambled egg. The challah bread is delicious though, we tasted that. All right, let's try this. The flavor is actually pretty good. And because we cooked it, like in the pictures it showed like it looked almost like a runny yolk, but we cooked the eggs pretty well, so it's all as one almost, so that's pretty good. The flavor's good. We did add more of all three spices and then added some smoked paprika as well just to give it some more heat. Oh, and some red pepper flakes. We like our spice. And it's so good. Now let me try dipping the challah bread in there. Well, that's delicious because the challah bread's a little bit sweet, and then you have some of the acidity of the tomatoes. Delicious. All right, so we're going to eat this, and then I'm gonna get ready to go to dance class. I'm back from dance and just drinking lots of water, but I am having some after eights. We were cleaning up Dan's apartment and his old apartment and found them. So they're probably from a while ago, and they still taste pretty good. Anyways, that's gonna be it today. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you guys next week. Bye.